Hey there, fight fans. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this episode of Combat Sports Talk. Welcome to Combat Sports Talk, a podcast dedicated to UFC and Bellator discussion, the MMA community, and combat sports in general. I'm your host, Ryan Smith, and we are live for UFC 258, Usman versus Burns. This is going to be a great fight. Now, here's the thing. Already getting questions. When will Usman and Burns start? We're going to start in just a few minutes. We're building up right now for the walk to the ring. And so if you aren't able to see this live, I will be giving you the commentary, telling you what's going on, and hopefully give you a good picture of what action's taking place in this fight. Now, we just got out of the co-main event. Maycee Barber lost a decision to Alexa Grasso. A lot of people were on that Maycee Barber hype train, but Alexa Grasso coming in as I believe the number 15 fighter in the flyweight division. She really just showed a lot of poise and a lot of technical skill. Put it on Maycee. Maycee came back strong in the third round, but it wasn't enough to get the victory. So, great fight. Looking forward to seeing more from Alexa Grasso. So if you are watching me, then what I'd love for you to do right now is type into your box, let me know who you think is going to win the main event, Kamaru Usman versus Gilbert Burns. Now, I've already got someone in here. Actually, I got Coach George G-Money Stallworth watching right now. He's saying Usman. Everybody on our podcast chose Kamaru Usman to defend and still remain the welterweight champion of the UFC. Only one person went with Gilbert Burns, and guess who that was? This guy. I'm going with Gilbert Burns in this fight, partially because of the fact that I believe that Gilbert Burns is a complete fighter. He's got the grappling, he's got the jiu-jitsu, but he's also got the hands. He's got the strength. He's got the comfort with Kamaru Usman. They've trained together before. I know it's been a long time, and fighters change and fighters evolve. But Kamaru Usman, we know what he's going to do. We know he's going to press forward. He's going to use that grappling, and he's going to try to get this fight to the ground, control, and then use ground and pound to try to get you out of there. Gas you out, maybe beat you up later in the rounds. I don't know if he's going to be able to execute that against someone like Gilbert Burns, who's welcoming that grappling exchange, who's welcoming this fight going to the ground because he's got such a high level of jiu-jitsu, but he also wants to strike, and he's got great hands, a lot of hand speed, and this is going to be a great fight for us this night. So, who do you have? So, looks like we see that looks like John Keys might be on because he's tweeting from he's communicating from the official Combat Sports Talk page. So I also called the Alexa Grasso fight there. So, I guess that's what we do here. We call good fights. Anyway, let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you want to know about what's going on. I've been really excited about the fighters who have gone into the final round, who needed a finish and got it. And I'm mainly talking about Marquez, Julian Marquez, the Cuban Missile Crisis. He was getting beaten up the first and second round. That was all Maki Pitolo. He needed a finish. And he got it. He got that submission victory. It was unbelievable how he was able to get that done. I also want to shout out in the prelims. What was it? Anthony? It was Hernandez. I got to look up his first name. The prelims. Anthony Hernandez. There it is. Anthony Hernandez versus Rodolfo Vieira. Now, everyone was afraid of Vieira because he's this multiple-time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu victor. He was, I think it was Abu Dhabi that he's won the tournaments and all of those kinds of things. You got Anthony Hernandez who's kind of coming in there. His nickname is Fluffy. Not a lot of people were thinking a whole lot of him. He was coming in at a plus 300. So, while Vieira was coming in at a minus 400, probably one of the biggest differences of the cards tonight. But Anthony Hernandez got it done. Unfortunately for Rodolfo Vieira, all that muscle gassed him out early, and then Anthony Hernandez was able to submit an accomplished Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner. And so for me, that's one of my fights of the night. That's unbelievable. Maybe not fight of the night, but a performance of the night. I hope he gets $50,000 for that. Of course, we know Julian Marquez should get one for that. $50,000 for that. Ricky Simone looked great in his fight against Brian Kelleher. That was basically cruising to a victory. He was able to put that fight, in the bag early and just kept the pressure, kept going. He ate a couple of front kicks that I think that future opponents are going to try to land on him if he doesn't close that off. But it's one that he looked great in that fight. Kelvin Gastelum was able to get back in the win column against Ian Heinisch. What a great fight that was. We thought Ian Heinisch was going to dominate on the ground, but Kelvin Gastelum had different ideas. Walking to the ring right now is Gilbert Burns, the challenger, the number one contender for the welterweight title. He is looking very confident. Got the Brazilian flag around his shoulders, got the bandana around his head, and he is smiling as he is strutting to the ring right now. This is going to be a great fight. He's got a lot of confidence, and I think that he is well deserved to have that confidence. So tell me what you guys think. Who do you think is going to win this fight? Now, while we're getting all set up in here, let me tell you a little bit about our show. We are Combat Sports Talk. My name is Ryan Smith. I'm the host. I've got 3 other hosts who represent an encyclopedia worth of knowledge in John Keys. We've got a Muay Thai coach and coach to the stars, George G. Money Stallworth. And then we've got the intellectual Kalechi KC Onyebuchi. We make up the team that's called Combat Sports Talk. We podcast every single Monday night, just like this, on at 10:30 p.m. Central Time here in the United States. We publish on Tuesdays. When we have pay-per-views like this, me or some of our or another of my co-hosts, we go live for all of you so that we can talk about what's going to happen in the fights. If you're not able to catch the show live, we're going to give you that play-by-play, that color commentary, that what's going on. We'll even make a few suggestions on what we think who wins what round. And what we want is for you to communicate back with us. So whatever platform you're looking at this on, if you're on Facebook, if you're on Periscope, if you're on YouTube, type in the box. Let's communicate. I'll pop your messages on the screen, and we'll talk a little bit about that. So we've got Gilbert Burns. He's on a 6-fight win streak. He's undefeated at welterweight. Sounds a lot like Kamaru Usman's record as well. Kamaru Usman's got a little bit longer winning streak going right now, and he is the champion. Gilbert Burns salutes the empty arena and walks into the ring. So he is now ready. Does a little bit of a front roll. He's ready to go. I think he's getting a little bit of that championship jitter out. So, while we wait for Kamaru Usman to come to the ring, let's talk a little bit more about the fights that we watched earlier tonight. Like I said before, we had Maki Pitolo. He dropped a late submission loss to Julian Marquez, who came back at the very end to win. Ricky Simone powered through Brian Kelleher, and Kelvin Gastelum did the same with Ian Heinisch. You had Alexa Grasso fend off a late surge by Macy Barber to win that co-main event, and now we have Kamaru Usman coming to the ring for the main event of the evening. Trying to listen right now. Everything's dark. I like it when it's in the big arenas because then you get all the colors and things like that. Of course, Kamaru Usman, he is, currently lives in the United States, actually grew up in our neck of the woods here in Dallas, Fort Worth. But he is originally from Nigeria. And so here he comes with the Nigerian green, white, and green flag. There's green hues, lights lighting up the arena. And he is coming in with a hand raised, a finger pointed, that he is number one coming into the ring, the Nigerian nightmare that is Kamaru Usman. So, as we wait for the main event, I'm going to talk a little bit about what we're going to do as a process. So, Kamaru Usman's going to get to the ring. He's going to get in there. They're going to kick it over to Bruce Buffer, and we're going to do something that we do every single time we do this, and that is we time the length of the introduction by Bruce Buffer. Why do we do that? We do that because we believe in something called the buffer factor. The buffer factor is a rule that says that a fight should last at least as long as it takes to announce it. And so for a main event, it takes Bruce Buffer about 3 minutes to announce everything in the main event. So what we want to see is a fight last at least 3 minutes to survive the buffer factor. Because if the fight goes, a short 28 seconds, like the Frankie Edgar and Corey Sandhagen fight went, then it took longer to announce the fight than it did to actually have the fight. For Frankie Edgar, he could have been knocked out 3 times by the time it took Bruce Buffer to announce the fight. That's the buffer factor. That's what we will time. I'll hold up my phone and we'll get a good, accurate time for how long it takes to get this fight announced. That'll be the last thing we'll do, and then we'll get right into the fight. I'll give you as much information as I can about what's going on in the ring. So right now we've got Kamaru Usman just put the mouthpiece in his mouth, hugging his coaches, getting the last minute Vaseline on the face, getting set up by the cut man as he gets ready to go into the ring. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my timer because that is what we do. And we'll just wait. I don't want to leave you too much dead air. So if you want, go ahead and type in your box, in your chat box, and let me know what you're thinking. You got any questions? You want to know who I'm picking? I'm picking Gilbert Burns to upset and new welterweight champion. So I'm the only one on my team. So everyone else is picking Kamaru Usman. That's okay. He is the favorite to win tonight. But I'm going to go with Gilbert Burns. The mix of submissions and grappling and striking versus Kamaru Usman's striking and grappling. I think I'm going to go with the guy that's got more tools is going to bring to the ring. We'll see if that works out for him. So with that, Kamaru Usman says a quick prayer, comes into the ring, and he is ready for this fight. We're hearing John Anik right now give some of the accolades of Kamaru Usman. Many people call him Marty. He doesn't prefer to be called Marty. He prefers Kamaru Usman. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. I'm gonna hold the camera up here like that. All right, and Bruce Buffer right now. There we go. So we are timing this because Bruce Buffer is now announcing the fight. We want to see how long it takes him to announce this fight. Why do we do this? The buffer factor. The fight should last at least as long as it takes to announce it. So we're going to see how long it takes to announce. All right. We've got 3 judges. He's announced the judges now. You should check out this red jacket that Bruce Buffer is wearing. It is pretty snazzy. Tonight is his 25th anniversary. He's been announcing for the UFC for 25 years. So that's a pretty huge accomplishment. And so I thought it was a pretty nice, it was a nice little, I don't want to say memorial. That would assume that he was dead. A tribute to Bruce Buffer and how he's served the UFC and entertained audiences all around the world for 25 years. So we just got the It's Time, the trademarked Bruce Buffer introduction. And, if you go back to some of these older fights when they were in the arenas, you would hear that Bruce Buffer often didn't say the S. It was always It Time. And I think it was because of the acoustics that he didn't say the S because it gave a little bit too long of a S. And so it was always something that was odd to me because if you go back and listen, let's say, to fights during the 2016, 2018, it was always It Time instead of It's Time. All right, we're a minute and a half into this announcement. So Gilbert Burns is just gotten announced now. Durinho Burns. All right, there we go. All we've got left to do is announce the champion in the red corner. Okay, so we're 2 minutes into this announcement. Kamaru Usman is a minus 265 favorite. That means if you're a betting person, you've got to bet $265 just to recoup $100 if you win. So that's what it means if you're a betting person. I learned long ago not to bet on the fights because while I enjoy making picks, I'm not always right, and I like money more than giving it away for bad picks. So, all right. All right. Usman is now announced, There you go. 2 minutes, 38 seconds is the time to beat. 2 minutes, 38 seconds. All right, here we go. Herb Dean is the referee for this fight. Both of them are, there's no touching of the gloves. So even though they are friends, their families know each other, their children play together, when they're in the ring, it's strictly business. No gloves touching. All right, Kamaru Usman is crouched next to the cage, Spider-Man style, if you will. All right, the fight is on. They've met in the ring. Big punch by Gilbert Burns right off the bat. All right, we got a quick jab by Kamaru Usman. Big kick to the body. Low kick by Gilbert Burns. They're looking at each other. Feints. Kamaru Usman's got his back close to the cage, but he's still got a lot of room to work. Another body kick and a punch by Gilbert Burns. He's really looking active. Kamaru Usman's just being patient, feinting, changing levels. Burns is standing in the middle of the ring. Ooh, big punch by Burns. Rocked Kamaru Usman. Usman's back up. It looks like Usman's in trouble. Oh, we've got uppercuts. Usman is in trouble, but he looks like he's recovering. Look, oh, another big hook by Burns. Kamaru Usman throws a jab. I think Kamaru Usman is in big trouble right now. But Gilbert Burns is showing patience, not going in on him right now. And so therefore, Kamaru Usman's getting a chance to recover. Head kick, partially blocked. Burns falls to the ground. Kamaru Usman's trying to find an entrance, kicking him in the legs while Burns is on the ground. Burns really wants this fight to go on the ground anyway because he's got this great submission. But Kamaru Usman is just kicking his legs right now while Burns lays on the ground. Nothing's really happening right now. Burns is trying to get up, and Kamaru Usman's not letting him. So this is interesting. We're just getting leg kicked. Oh, we got a little capoeira side kick from Gilbert Burns right there, just to show something. Didn't really do any damage. Kamaru Usman throws a punch from up top, but Gilbert Burns is still laying on the ground, kind of kicking his legs, and Kamaru Usman is just throwing leg kicks to the ground, not doing a whole lot of damage. Kamaru Usman throws another punch down to the body of Gilbert Burns. Not a lot of damage there either. So right now, Herb Dean really needs to stand this fight up. Nothing's really happening right now. So there's really not a lot going on except for Kamaru Usman kicking the legs. That's just about it. Another leg kick while Gilbert Burns is laying on the ground. This is another leg kick to the thigh. He's holding Gilbert Burns' foot. Kamaru Usman's holding Gilbert Burns' foot and kicking him in the thigh. It's not a lot of damage. Doesn't appear to be affecting Gilbert Burns in any way. But it's just stalling. Got another punch from standing up on top to the body. Another one just kind of bounces off of Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns is trying to stand up, not able to. Kamaru Usman still giving him the pressure, still kicking him in the thigh. Another kick to the thigh, another kick to the thigh, another kick to the thigh. And now Kamaru Usman's trying to make his entrance in, but he wasn't able to. Gilbert Burns is back up to his feet. A big knee to Kamaru Usman right there as he tried to make an entrance. Kamaru clinches, and now they're clinching close to the fence. But Gilbert Burns is showing that he is right now a more dominant fighter here. Landing the bigger punches. Kamaru Usman is throwing a nice jab, nice left jab. Some of them are landing, but it's still Gilbert Burns' round right now. Kamaru has to do something to win this round back. So they're looking at each other right now. Kamaru Usman's holding the ground, but another strong jab from Gilbert Burns. Another jab from Kamaru Usman, but it's still looking like Gilbert Burns is showing, a much more dominant performance in the first round. A lot of feints. They're looking. Gilbert Burns is changing levels. Kamaru Usman throws a nice leg kick there. We got a return leg kick from Gilbert Burns. We got a nice little body kick from Kamaru Usman. Still trying to find an entrance. Ooh, a big knee to the body by Gilbert Burns to Kamaru Usman. Okay, here we go. Jabs. Kamaru Usman's making moves, making a good movement. Got another leg kick from Gilbert Burns. They're standing just in the middle of the ring. Big sweeping hook miss. Gilbert Burns is just out of reach. Got a nice jab by Kamaru Usman onto Gilbert Burns. No, they trade jabs here. Another jab there, but we've got a combo coming in. A nice knee. But now Kamaru Usman is starting to establish the jab on Gilbert Burns. Another nice jab by Kamaru Usman. Okay, there we go. A sweeping hook by Gilbert Burns misses. A jab falls just short by Kamaru Usman. They both exchange jabs there, one to the body, one to the head. Here we go. We got about 38 seconds left in the round. We've got an attempt at changing levels. Gilbert Burns tried to take him down, but Kamaru Usman fights it off. Another head kick blocked by Gilbert Burns. Throws a head kick, and Kamaru Usman blocks that. They're standing in the middle of the ring, switching things out, switching, looking at each other. There's a nice little jab there by Kamaru Usman. We're coming to 15 seconds left in the round. Another big Gilbert Burns throws combos, lands a couple. Nice uppercut by Gilbert Burns. And we're coming to the end of the round. Another jab by Kamaru Usman. And that's the end of the first round. So at the end of the first round, it looks like Gilbert Burns has won the first round 10-9. A real big knockdown right early in the round. Just a clubbing hook over the top. And Kamaru Usman was down, tried to clinch, but he couldn't clinch. And then we got a nice knee to Kamaru Usman as he was trying to change levels there. So these replays are showing that Gilbert Burns wins the first round 10-9 with some outstanding performance by Gilbert Burns. Kamaru Usman looks like he's recovered, threw a nice couple of jabs, starting to establish his type of game. He likes to throw, the hands and then change it up, gas you out with the wrestling. So that's where we are at the end of the first round. The 1 minute break is almost over. We just heard the whistle. That means there's 10 seconds left. We're getting ready for round number 2. Let me know what you guys think. Who do you think won the first round? I think it was pretty clear that it was Gilbert Burns. So if you think it was Gilbert Burns, let me know. If you think that Usman pulled that out, I'd like to know why you thought that. Round has started. Gilbert Burns is very aggressive coming in again. He's got Kamaru Usman up against the cage. Kamaru Usman's back is against the cage. Closing the distance is Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns feigning, nice jab by Kamaru Usman just to take back the center of the ring. Now he's coming in. Another nice jab by Kamaru Usman. Another nice jab stops Gilbert Burns in his tracks. Oh, a sweeping punch misses by Gilbert Burns. A leg kick by Gilbert Burns. Body kick by Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns has now taken the center of the ring, chasing Kamaru Usman a little bit, and now we're both throwing jabs here. Neither one of them are really effective. Nice leg kick unbalances Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman responds, and then we got a body kick jab. We got another jab. They're exchanging jabs right now, standing in the middle of the ring, just kind of looking at each other. This is a long fight, so we don't want to lose too much. Nice hook on Kamaru Usman. Nice jab by Gilbert Burns on Kamaru Usman as well. Kamaru catches a kick by Gilbert Burns and throws a jab as a response. They're standing in the middle of the ring. I know I just called him Marty. I'm sorry. And so we're here in the middle of the ring. Jab and then body kick by Gilbert Burns. So we're standing in the middle of the ring. This round is closer now. The first one was a little bit unbalanced because of that big shot that Kamaru Usman took very early in the round. This one's a much closer round. They're both kind of exchanging punches. I haven't seen anything that's really damaging. Oh, Gilbert Burns lands a big punch that you see the reaction on the face. Misses the uppercut Gilbert Burns does on Kamaru Usman. Very close. It was like a Hadouken kind of a punch. Okay, we're standing in the middle of the ring. And we're feinting. Gilbert Burns is throwing a series of jabs. Nothing really lands there, but he's owning the center of the ring. He's following Kamaru Usman around. Usman's throwing some jabs. Gilbert Burns is landing some leg kicks. Big jab by Kamaru Usman bucks Gilbert Burns' head back. Gilbert Burns responds with a jab. And so, Gilbert Burns is rocked. Gilbert Burns is rocked with a big overhand right. Now Kamaru Usman's taking control. Now Kamaru Usman has Gilbert Burns up against the cage. Big jab. Gilbert Burns is rocked. Gilbert Burns is taking some damage here. He's trying to change levels now, trying to turn this into a wrestling match. He's not able to because this is the bread and butter by Kamaru Usman. Oh, another big jab. Another big jab by Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman's clubbing with the overhand right. Gilbert Burns is barely in this fight. This fight can end any minute now. Gilbert Burns is on shaky legs. His back is against the cage. He is fighting for his life right now. He is shaky. Another big hook from Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman is chasing him down now. Another big jab by Kamaru Usman. He has to stay on him. He's keep landing. Gilbert Burns is throwing haymakers, throwing bombs, trying to get back into this fight. But this is clearly Kamaru Usman's round. Kamaru throws another jab. Gilbert Burns is hurt. His hands are down. He is circling away, taking just punches, jab after jab, from Kamaru Usman. A big leg kick by Gilbert Burns, though. It is not over. It is not over. But Kamaru Usman is throwing jabs, throwing punches, a body blow right there. Another jab by Kamaru Usman. He is winning this round. This is pretty decisively now in the hands of Kamaru Usman. And we have Gilbert Burns trying to stay in this fight. Takes another one from his guard is terrible right now, and he's just eating punches by Kamaru Usman. All right, now Gilbert Burns is trying to do something to back Kamaru Usman up. A big jab knocks Gilbert Burns down. Gilbert Burns is now on the ground, trying to coax Kamaru Usman into his guard. This is really where it's danger zone. But Kamaru Usman is smart, and he says, you know what? We're going to stand this up. I'm going to stand this up. I'm going to take you out, young man. And so that's what it is. We got 1 minute left in this round. Kamaru Usman is waiting. He's biding his time. Gilbert Burns is throwing leg kicks, and Kamaru Usman is looking for his spot. Gilbert Burns is his hands are barely up right now. It's pretty terrible guard right now, but it's okay because we got 41 seconds left. Another big jab by Kamaru Usman. Another jab by Kamaru Usman. Oh, now Gilbert Burns is starting to return back. I think he's gotten his bearings again. And so we see Gilbert Burns starting to throw big shots again. This is a great fight. Big jab by Gilbert Burns. Kamaru Usman responds with a jab. 20 seconds left. Kamaru Usman standing in the middle of the ring, showing a lot of confidence. Throws a leg kick to Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns looks like he's recovered a bit. And so now we're seeing, he shoots, changes levels and shoots from Kamaru Usman, but it's no dice. Now we got a big jab again by Gilbert Burns. This fight is not over, but the round is. That's the end of the round. We've got 10-9 Kamaru Usman. This fight is 19-19, tied 1-1. Each of the fighters have scored a knockdown against their opponent, and each of the fighters have won a round. So this is a great fight. This is what we were hoping for. Gilbert Burns has to recover in this round, or else I don't think he's going to last in deep waters. We're looking at him right now. The camera is on his corner. They are working very hard. I can't hear what the coach's instructions are, unfortunately, just because I'm talking to you. But I've got it 1-1 right now, and Kamaru Usman could have easily finished this round if he'd increased his pace. But I think what he's doing is saying, I got you once, I can get you again, but I'm going to conserve my energy and not gas out and end up getting caught near the end of the fight. But it was a huge right hand that caught Gilbert Burns, made him stumble, and after that, it was another big jab that knocked him down again. Clearly a round for Kamaru Usman. We are ready for round number 3. They are standing in the center of the ring. They're circling each other. And here we go. We've got Gilbert Burns. Looks like he's a little bit lighter on his feet now. I think he's recovered. And so got a little jab, but he's still gun shy. I don't like the way that he throws a jab and then kind of fades away. He throws a kick, but he's not committed. And a big jab just knocked Gilbert Burns down again. Big standing bombs. Gilbert Burns is done. He is done. We're getting ready to stop this fight. Herb Dean was getting ready to stop this fight. Another big bomb. And this fight is over. Kamaru Usman wins the fight in the 3rd round, defeating Gilbert Burns via TKO. This was an unbelievable performance by Kamaru Usman. I know that I am going to get the crow button on our Combat Sports Talk podcast because I'm the only one on our show who went with the Brazilian. So there you have it, guys. That is the fight. Kamaru Usman wins by TKO in round number 3. Took some damage early. You're welcome. You're welcome. Come back for pay-per-views. This is what I do. This is what we do. Like and subscribe our podcast if you like what we did tonight. This is something that we hope that you guys will come back looking for us to do every time we've got a pay-per-view, because we really enjoy talking to you. Kamaru Usman kneeling in the ring. We know that I believe that he is a devout Muslim, and so he is right now watching Gilbert Burns recover. Gilbert Burns clearly is emotional right now about the loss, and this is a sad one. So sad one for Gilbert Burns. But if you're a Kamaru Usman fan, like I know many of you are, this is one where clearly we saw him at if you follow Kamaru Usman, clearly you saw him at 80%. Imagine what he would be at 100%. That's a 30% joke. If you guys know your Kamaru Usman, look at Gilbert Burns. Man, his eye is almost already swollen shut. He's cut. His face is swollen. He took a lot of damage in a very short period of time. This is what proves that Kamaru Usman, it has a lot of power. Thank you so much, Mr. Trejo. I appreciate you there. Please like and subscribe our podcast. We are on everywhere you want to be whenever you listen to podcasts. We are there. These are all the social media platforms that you can see us at. So please do support us. We are a small show based out of Dallas, Texas, but we're looking to grow with fans just like you. So we're just looking at replays now. One thing that I do encourage you guys to do, if you have time, either tonight or tomorrow, always listen to the post-fight press conference. You know, it'll be on YouTube. You can look for it later, but it always gives you that insight as to what fighters were thinking, what the game plans were, what they want to do. I always get a lot of information by watching those. So I really enjoy that. Getting some comments back in here. We've got Ant right here. He says, Usman is a dog. Usman is a dog. You know, the way that he recovered from getting knocked down in the first round to score a knockdown, and then not only after he scored a knockdown to finish the fight in the third round, that is someone I don't know that there is really anybody that's going to be able to, it's going to be hard to beat. Now, you've got Jorge Masvidal. We've got Jorge Masvidal, who's kind of waiting in the wings there. He took that fight against Kamaru Usman in a very short period of time. So he didn't get a full camp. He didn't get a full time to prepare. So maybe he's the next guy. So Kamaru Usman is now been announced and still the welterweight champion of the world. Dana White just put the belt around his waist, and Kamaru Usman is heaving sighs of relief that this thing is over. I think he was very confident. Very nice handshake, big embrace by Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman. That's the kind of sportsmanship we would love to see. I don't think GSP wants any part of Kamaru Usman. It would be great to see it, but I don't think he wants it. He doesn't even want Khabib Nurmagomedov. And so if you don't want the guy, the champion at 155, you probably don't want the guy at 170. Personally, I believe that GSP, the only reason why GSP came back for the fight at 185 against Michael Bisping is because he knew about the eye. He knew that there was a blind spot that Bisping had. You saw that he utilized that in the finish, and to set up the finish anyway. And so, you know, I don't know that George St. Pierre will be back. He seems very, very happy watching and making his videos with his frosted hair or whatever he's doing with that, with his mop. So all that's left is the kicking but the screaming. If you liked what you saw tonight, please do like and subscribe our podcast. We are on all of these platforms. You can find us, and we would love to hear what you think about the sport. This was a great fight, and this is coming from actually one of our hosts who's watching online. This was a great fight. I really do think that these are the two most closely matched fighters. Of course, Colby Covington showed a great performance whenever he fought Kamaru Usman, but I need to see Colby Covington win a fight against someone else to earn another title shot. That could be Leon Edwards. I don't know why I said Yves Edwards. Leon Edwards, because the fight against Khamzat Chimaev is now off, and so Leon Edwards needs a fight. I don't think he's going to get the BMF champion in Jorge Masvidal. So we could see Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington. Would anyone want? No, I haven't seen anyone ask for that, and that is Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Kamaru Usman. I would love to see that fight. I would love to see Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Kamaru Usman. But I think Kamaru might be too big for him. Khabib is a true lightweight. And this is a very similar challenge that George St. Pierre had when everyone was calling him up to fight against Anderson Silva. He didn't want to fight Anderson Silva because Anderson Silva was really a light heavyweight who could cut down to middleweight. And George St. Pierre was a true welterweight. So it was just the body frame and size difference that was a problem. I'm not going to say that Habib couldn't take that fight and wouldn't perform well. I just don't know that that's strategically a fight that he wants, that he really needs to cement his legacy. I think that this is interesting. So Vincent Trejo says Usman will be the welterweight Mayweather. Nobody will beat him. The way he looked tonight, I can't dispute that. I think that Gilbert Burns was, of all the welterweights that are right now, because of the fact that Kamaru Usman has wins over the rest of the top of the division, I don't see a welterweight that's better prepared than Gilbert Burns to beat Kamaru Usman, and it didn't happen tonight. It was outside of that first knockdown in the first round, it was all Kamaru Usman. He was calm and collected, throwing jabs and landing these heavy jabs that really set up the end of the fight. So outstanding performance by Kamaru Usman. I know that I'm going to get ridiculed on the show on Monday, but that is okay. I deserve it. I should have not I should have not gone against Kamaru Usman. That's my bad. So with that, anything else you guys want to talk about? We'll go through the results one more time, just because this was such a wonderful card. It was such a great card. I really am excited about what the UFC is putting out in 2021. So in the first fight of the night, we had Julian Marquez defeating Maki Pitolo by submission. He had to gut out and wrench victory from the jaws of defeat. And that was a wonderful, wonderful performance by the Cuban Missile Crisis. Ricky Simon versus Brian Kelleher. Ricky Simon really cruised to victory there, controlled the fight, did a lot of great damage with his elbows early in the fight that kept bothering Brian Kelleher and really stunted him from being able to put on some offense. You had Kelvin Gastelum getting back in the win column. He said it was a very emotional time for him versus Ian Heinisch, which we expected Ian Heinisch to really have his coming out against, the grizzled veteran of 29 years old, which was shocking to hear that Kelvin Gastelum is 29 years old. He started fighting at 21, and he's been able to do all the things that he's done so far. But he got in the win column tonight with some outstanding wrestling, and he's supported that with some great striking to defeat Ian Heinisch. In the co-main event, you had Alexa Grasso, a wonderful, wonderful striker, boxer from Mexico, defeating Macy Barber, who's known as the future, but I guess the future is not as bright as we thought it was going to be, because she lost a unanimous decision to Alexa Grasso. And as we were saying before, in the main event of the evening, Kamaru Usman defeated Gilbert Burns via TKO in round number 3. Outstanding performance by the Nigerian Nightmare, and I look forward to seeing more from him in the future. Okay, well, that is about it for me. My name is Ryan Smith, and I host a podcast called Combat Sports Talk. We are on all of these platforms up here. Please like and subscribe us. Check us out. Let us know what you like. And by the way, if you like to have MMA discussion and you're tired of all these people asking who would win between, Mighty Mouse Johnson and Derek Lewis, and you want some real good MMA debate and conversation, check out our Facebook group called the Intelligent Defense Discussion Group. So, just like we have in fighting, and you have to be able to defend yourself intelligently. If you make a point, better have the facts to back it up, or else we're coming for you. So join us on our Facebook group, Intelligent Defense Discussion Group. Like and subscribe our podcast. We're at combatsportstalk.com, and we'll see you next time. My name is Ryan Smith, and I'm reminding you to keep your hands up, your chin tucked, and throw bombs. We'll catch you next pay-per-view.